Taste the Daily.
Holidays nale adu namma GT Holidays da, South India's #1 travel brand.
Do you remember watching the film for the first time with the audience, and what was going on in your head when that happened?
Uh, Actually, whenever when we finished storyboarding for this, and when I saw this myself, for the first time with the storyboard, with the music, from that moment till today, I get goosebumps every time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I always, no matter how many times I see the film, I usually don't watch my films first. Once my film is done, it is done. I'll not go back and watch my films. But whenever, I want to go back and see Hanuman, this is the bit that I watch every time, I get this goosebumps. And I always felt, while we were working on the VFX, I always felt no matter how many mistakes that we do in the beginning, in the first 95% of the film, so this will save my film. So if the filmmaker himself is feeling the high, I'm sure that the audience will also feel it. So yeah, it's always been the same, and definitely when I was watching it in the big screen, among the audience members, I could see their screams, I could see their emotion, they were crying and all that. I cannot forget it, and from that moment I wanted to see it multiple times in theater, but I wanted to go back to theater for the next show. But we were advised to not go. We were calling the theater exhibitors that, we want to go and watch the film. So we were not allowed to come to theater, saying that, sir, idedo koncham పూనకాలు వచ్చేసినాయి ఇక్కడ ఆడియన్స్కి, మీరు వస్తే కనుక we cannot control the crowd. So and this is not something that we see every day. I don't know last time when this happened, the way audience are reacting to the film. I don't think you should come to theater anymore in చెప్పారు. సో ఎక్కువ సార్లు వెళ్ళిపోయాను థియేటర్కి, బట్ ఆఫ్టర్ ఫ్యూ డేస్ whenever I go to cinema to watch it, I get the same goosebumps and I get the same feeling.
It's great. And I was telling you there, right? And me and the people, the guys, we were watching the clip, and we were trying to dissect, what can we talk about in this clip? And we came up with, we were surprised with multiple elements. First one being when Hanuman he's revealed, there is a Mokobot shot that you guys
I'm
aimed
sorry,
for,
I'm
right?
really sorry. I think I'm still lost with that whole visual thing.
That's okay.
So I'm feeling little
Overwhelmed.
nervous and overwhelmed to speak. So that's the reason I'm speaking little low. Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you go back?
You want to
again?
change mics?
No. I want you to say the
Okay,
question again. I'm still stuck with it.
So we were watching this clip, and we were looking for pointers to talk about. And some of the most interesting things that we came up with, things that we found were most stunning, were when Hanuman is revealed, there is this Mokobot-like shot. Was that intentional?
Actually, it was not a Mokobot. It's a regular
It's not, yeah.
dolly. It was supposed to be shot with Mokobot. We could not afford it. So we went with a normal dolly, and we were calculating every, the lens, the height of the camera, the angle, to get this right. So I shot multiple takes, hoping, with multiple speed, hoping that we can mimic that bolt kind of motion. So we could not afford it. We did many of this stuff. Whatever you guys are seeing, whatever you think that, this is done with the best of the best technology, was done with the very, very little, equipment.
Yeah.
So yeah, now that I see it, it feels like a bolt, but it is not actually. So we didn't really have the best of the best technology at that point, but we've been doing this guerrilla and DIY kind of filmmaking all my life. So yeah, now it looks epic and all.
Yeah.
But when you look at the making of we didn't release the making video for a very long time. Because I didn't want people to know that it is done in this cheap way.
It's not cheap. It's creative.
Yeah.
That's creativity.
I think Nani sir, actor Nani garu, when I was doing my first film, I was asking for a lot of things, sir. I want to shoot with mock-about, I want to shoot with that. So whatever, all the technology that I know of, I was asking him to provide me that so that I can shoot the film. But he told me, Prashant, whenever the greatest films were never made with biggest budgets.
True.
So whenever, you have to, put your brains to it. So this is the budget of the film. So you figure out a way to do it. So that always inspired me. Like, you don't need big budgets to make big films. So there is always a way. So you just need to figure it out.
Wonderful. And I was also talking to you about the transition. Like Samudrakani sir is revealed to be Vibhishana. That transition is very cool. And you were just saying that there was a lot.
It's a dolly. It's a regular dolly. It's a regular circular dolly.
Wow, man. I mean, and the last time we spoke after Hanuman's release, you said something that the filmmaking style that you followed for Hanuman, it was very unorthodox. You wouldn't suggest any other filmmaker to follow that.
Absolutely.
Can you tell people what your process was like?
See, like I have written many bound scripts. Like I've done storyboarding for my scripts and all that, but unfortunately none of the films went to shoot. So it became a jinx kind of thing. Whenever I'm almost done with my script, I just stop writing. So all the scripts that I have shot so far were done with unfinished scripts. So I do have a draft. I know where I'm going, but I kind of improvise a lot. So I write, I shoot, I edit, and again I write, I shoot, I edit. So it's a circular process for me until I get it right. So sometimes when I start shooting, when I look at one particular character or an actor doing an amazing job, I'll start writing more for the character. Like if you look at Zombie Reddy, the Kasireddy character, do you guys remember Kasireddy? Yeah. So he was only supposed to be there in one scene in the film when I initially wrote it. When I looked at his performance, Get Up Say No, so I was amazed, like, the kind of effort that he was putting to play that character. So I thought, yeah, this guy is amazing. I cannot stop him in the first half. So I wrote more for him. Like, so I'm that kind of filmmaker. Like, yeah, that's my process.
Okay, in Zombie Ready I can understand because it's a comedy. It's a dialogue-driven comedy. But how can you afford to be spontaneous and improvise day after day when there are so many logistics involved and VFX is time-consuming, right? It's not
Absolutely.
like. So how did you manage that in Hanuman?
See, I don't write 120 pages or 200 pages of script. I only write 60 pages of script first. Initially, like hardly 40, 50 pages of the script. And whatever is the most exciting bits in the film, like I know my characters, I know the backstories, but I don't write an extended version of the script and then shoot it and then edit it in the post. I usually write a very small story and I shoot that first. So then I start building on top of that. So that's the reason I never overshot my films. I never reshot my films. Even if you look at Zombie Ready, I'm going back to the same film. If you remember, Raghu Babu Garu played one character in the beginning of the film. And suddenly, Prithvi Raj Garu is playing the same character in the film. So it was actually like Raghu Babu Garu, it was COVID. And not many people were trying to, not many people were shooting at that time. So I had to improvise. Like, he was not keen to come to shoot at that time. But we were taking all the precautions. But still, so I had to improvise there. So I continued shooting with another actor and then figured out a reason how their faces changed. Yeah. So we never stopped filming. Like, there is always a way. Like, there is 24 crafts for you to figure out things. So, yeah, I mean, like, that's how we do it.
Great. And speaking about VFX.
And one more thing, like, even if I say that my way of filmmaking very unorthodox, usually, that initially you shoot one particular film and which is like some 4 hours long, and then you cut it down to 2.5 hours and all that.
Yeah.
The maximum film that I've cut, like the difference between the first cut and the final cut for me is 5 minutes in any of my films. So that is for Hanuman. Like we only had chopped 5 minutes of the film. So we don't usually waste a lot of budget, but we shoot those scenes that are absolutely necessary for the film first. So then we move on to the less important scenes. So
Right.
then you know at one point, this is enough. Like, this film is good. Like, you don't have to, go more than 2.5 hours. Like, audience is anyway paying only 150 rupees for us. Why do you deliver them 3.5 hours film?
No, it's 300 by the way. And and
I mean, like, when you have a lot of budget, yeah, you can do whatever.
and Mr. S.S. Rajamouli also told you this, right? To edit out, especially the VFX portions, even before you shoot.
Absolutely, yeah, he did.
I want to talk about VFX because VFX of Hanuman was talked about a lot, and obviously because how you guys were able to achieve a lot with minimal resources. So let's start with Anjanadri, because the very first time a lot of people were hooked to Hanuman was that pan shot where water you see the statue. So what were your references like? And what went into the creation of that entire environment, both from storytelling perspective, from an imagination scale perspective, and the execution perspective?
That one shot took us 2 years to do. From the moment we conceived it, from the moment it got finally rendered. So that was the last shot that was rendered and finally we added into the film. So it took us 2 years to do that one shot. So initially the reference was like, we all believe that, many of us believe that, Hanumanji has come from the Karnataka area, the Anjanadri there and all that. So initially the references were from there. And then we wanted to add the scale. So the film has to look big.
Yeah.
Even if you put a small statue in VFX or a big statue in VFX, the budget is the same. So your vision has to be big. Because they'll charge you per frame. So why don't you have a bigger statue when you can actually spend the same amount of money? So we were very calculative in whatever we were spending. So we had put all the budget of VFX, 90% of the budget of the VFX for the final sequence. So we were spending all our time and resources and everything onto it. And the rest, 10%, we've spent it on the rest of the film.
Wow.
Because we knew that, this sequence have to be right.
Yeah.
So we cannot mess it up. So because it's not just cinema, it is a lot emotion and we cannot go wrong with that. So we were spending almost like 2 years, that's 1 year, just working on the concept art of Hanumanji, like how to show him. Does he have to have a six-pack kind of body? Or does he have to have a muscular body but not really a defined pack? And what kind of hair? And, we were speaking to many people, like, many scholars and looking at all the references that we were growing up with. So yeah, that particular one shot, there was a lot of, again, improvements. Like, the initial shot that we shot, we designed. I think it was also a big challenge. Initially, we thought we will stitch 7 different shots into one single shot so that the render will be easy. So probably like we'll fly some bird and stitch the shot and probably go through a cloud so that we can use that as a stitching point. But then our VFX guys were also rebels and they said, no, let's do the whole thing in one single shot. I said, yeah, why not? So there was a lot of effort went into it, but when we finally saw it on big screen, it was all worth it.
Like, yeah, your VFX guys were rebellious.
Yeah.
You got the reference, no? Yeah.
So I'm sure there are a lot of VFX guys here who are ready for such challenges. Like, they will say, we will do it. You imagine, like, you don't put your limitation for your imagination. We will execute it. We will realize it. Yeah.
And how much time did you, like, apart from that 2-year span that took for you to achieve that shot, rest of the VFX, how much time did it take?
The same time, like, we were working on the rest of the shots simultaneously, but we knew what were our, the money shots in the film. Like, we knew, so these are the shot audience will cheer for in theater, and these are the shots that have to be right. So we prioritized them, and we were working on those shots, and while we were simultaneously working on the rest of the film.
And I wanted to know this, the topography and the geography of Anjanadri, because throughout the film, even when different events are happening, we keep getting an idea of the geography. Like you keep seeing the Hanuman statue somewhere in the background, in some in different scenes. So did you guys have like a proper geography? Like where the village is, where the forest is, where the sea is? Was it all like calculated? Was it all?
I'll be lying if I say I had everything figured out in the beginning. So we had a geography. We did a small 3D model. It used to be there in our office, and we were composing fight and everything with that model. But we were improvising. Like initially, the most loved shot in the film, that Sriram shot, like
Yeah.
when the bullets form the
Yeah, yeah.
Sriram image, and you see Hanumanji in the back.
Yeah.
So that was not initially planned. Like that was I only wrote till Sriram. My sister wrote Hanumanji in the back. So. So she said, let's take it to the level. I said, no, geographically, like, the statue is there. So I was talking logic. She said, who cares? When the magic is happening, don't think about the logic. So just do it. So then I really felt like when the final VFX and everything came together, I felt, that was a great idea. Like,
It was a killer idea.
Yeah. I'm going to nail it in Jai Hanuman.
Yeah, thumbnail, headlines. So, and when you started with Hanuman, you didn't have you said that there was no pre-production, there was no production, there was
but it was all a cycle.
parallel, prep,
it was all
shoot,
cycler
prep, shoot,
process,
prep,
yeah,
shoot.
yeah.
So, I'm assuming you didn't have a proper estimate of the number of VFX shots that you might be requiring. Like with Jai Hanuman, now that you have the experience and all, do you have I wouldn't say accurate, but a fairly accurate estimate of, let's say, the environments needed, the assets needed for Jai Hanuman?
See, Jai Hanuman, imagine there are roughly, I don't know, I'm just giving you a rough number. If there are some 20,000 shots or 50,000 shots in Jai Hanuman, every shot is VFX.
Oh, wow.
100% of the film is VFX.
Okay.
Yeah, so there is no, so we have to be, whatever the learning that we had for Hanuman, we are actually going to apply it now, and we are going to be very cost effective again, just because Hanuman was such a big hit. We were not just throwing money around. So we were calculating, we wrote we wrote an amazing story, but not a 4-hour story, but it's a good 2-hour film. And we are trying our level best to show the best, whatever, the best technology. Now that I can afford to use all the technologies. So without the help of all the equipment and technology, we could pull Hanuman.
Yeah.
So we are using the best technologies that are available in India right now. Imagine what Jai Hanuman is going to be.
Wow. Wow. Is IMAX 3D happening?
Absolutely, yes.
IMAX 3D for Jai Hanuman.
IMAX 3D, Dolby Vision, 4DS Max. There are more new things that I'm learning as we speak. I'm going to be visiting a lot of these facilities in US and all these places to understand, learn how to give the best experience for the audience. So my guru Christopher Nolan is already doing it.
Yay!
So, whatever, at least 1% of what he has achieved, I'll try to do.
Do you have sequences in mind that you want to capture in IMAX, set sequences or
The entire film.
entire film?
Every shot of it.
IMAX.
IMAX 3D. And even more, whatever the best scene. I'm also working on a new idea. I've done my engineering in computer science. So I'm actually trying to develop a software.
Okay.
I'm collaborating with a company. I'm actually trying to, we haven't cracked it yet, but I'm trying to give a new theatrical experience. So probably that is not being done in international cinema yet. But maybe, I'm trying.
Okay. You're dropping, wow.
I mean, you guys have seen 70mm, 3D, 4D, IMAX. So maybe if I can crack it, you're going to see a new format of theatrical experience.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to use the F word, no? So, but still, wow.
All the coding knowledge that I had, probably I'll have to put use to it now.
See, finally, engineering is coming in handy, man.
Absolutely. I think
Who would have thought?
My mom will be happy that I did engineering well.
Wow, I'm now I need 2 minutes to, calm down because what's the future of PVCU?
Hey, legal shade, silence. Okay, I didn't say that.
Okay.
PVCU, yeah, I mean, like, we've been working a lot, like, we've been working day and night. So my team is here, Dhanush is here, Keshni is here, and all these people, Pranavi and all this. We got an amazing team. These people are more passionate about PVCU than me. Like, they believe in it more than me. When you have got a team who believes in the vision that you have more than yourself, so that's what drives you, and and they push me. Even if I say that this is enough, so they will make me go to the take that extra step forward. And I mean, like, whatever I say about PVCU today might look exaggerated, but we have planned for next 10 years. Wow. And that's, I mean, I'm just not just giving the name, I mean, like, the number just like that. So that took a lot of time, like, last 1 year. So we have spent extensively, and we have written so many characters and so many stories. And PVCU will produce films, web series, comics, merchandise, and there's like a lot of other things. Like, I think we are working on a lot of other avenues, and VR. So
Wow.
Yeah, so you can actually pretty soon you can walk through the Akhanda Bharat universe. Like, the audience can visit the big Hanuman statue, so they can
Wow.
go to the place where he is doing his job in that eye statue. Like, you can literally stand right next to him and hear him saying Ram. So we are going to create the entire universe in VR.
Wow. And you're working on all of them parallelly.
Yes. I have stopped playing cricket, guys, for you. Like, many people were asking me, like, stop playing badminton, cricket, and concentrate on your films. So I did that. Now I'm not playing any sport. I'm just concentrating on making films.
But where are you getting that time from to manage all these different verticals and being involved in them?
Imagine whatever the hobby you have, like, imagine I know you love watching movies.
Yeah.
And can you watch 6 films a day?
I think I can pull off.
So where do you get the time?
Yeah. I make time. Yeah.
You make time. So you always make time. So when your profession is your hobby, you will make time. So when you are given an opportunity to do something like this, and that it is a lot of fun, and you get paid a lot of money for it. So obviously, like, and I am able to encourage a lot of young talent. I'm able to facilitate them to bring their stories forward. And I can see all these cheers and, happiness and in all these faces. So what more? Like, and I can work 24/7 for this, and I love it. I love doing all these films at the same time.
We love watching them too. Last time we spoke, you said that virtual production wasn't really fitting in your budget.
Yeah.
Are you planning to toy with it going forward?
Absolutely. We are building all the assets for VR right now. So there is a lot of shoot we are going to do in Unreal Engine using virtual assets and all that. So this is going to be that's going to be the future. Like, I was just speaking to Chiranjeevi Garu about it. I was in a megastar Chiranjeevi Garu. So I was telling him, he was asking me, like, how you're doing all these things at the same time. And I was telling him on the stage, sir, I think by the time actor comes to the shoot, the entire pre-production, assets, and all these things should be done. And he should just come, perform, give his best. And even before he comes to the shoot, he should be able to see what he is getting into. So that is how I am building, sir. So that is the reason I am able to execute so many films at the same time. So he was amazed, and he said that is how you should be doing films. And yeah, probably, hopefully, we'll work together at some point.
Wow. I'm glad you're talking to Chiranjeevi Garu. So let's see.
I'm too.
How different is the workflow going to be if virtual production is involved? Because you are a guy who likes to improvise a lot, but virtual production is almost like you make the film first, then you go and shoot it because the assets, everything, they have to be ready. But then I'm not sure if that allows for improvisation, which is what your filmmaking style depends a lot on.
So that is the reason, like, whoever the directors who are directing the other films that I'm doing are not as unorthodox as me. They are very good at their prep. So they are doing an amazing job. And yeah, I mean, like, now, see, I'm trying to be orthodox and, I'm trying to finish my script and, do it the regular way.
Hey,
But
don't.
I should not,
I
right?
mean, Hanuman got.
Please tell my sister about it. This is my style. But yeah, so I cannot mention the movie's name, but I heard about this one particular movie which tried to shoot. They tried to shoot it in virtual production, but since the preparation was not done properly, so they shot it, and then they realized that the assets and all are not matching, the lighting and everything was not matching, so they could not do anything again. So they could not fix it in the post. So if they would have shot it in a classic green screen way, it would have been easy for them. So for them to undo it is a lot more difficulty. So unless and until you are prepped with all your assets properly, I don't suggest you go to virtual production. Yeah.
And what do you think is going to be the role of AI going forward? Are we going to rely more on it? I'm sure you guys have implemented a bit in Hanuman as well. So how do you look at the evolution of AI?
See, I've seen a lot of comments on my social media complaining that I'm using AI a lot. I've seen those comment, guys. And so imagine the calculator is invented. And do you still by heart the tables? No, right? The calculator is already invented. So start using it. Start making the best use of it. And try to... AI is an amazing tool, and you should know how to use it right. So in every poster that we are working on, I mean, the people have this misconception that, you just enter J Hanuman first look poster, enter, the poster will come. So we had worked for more than 3 weeks on that one single poster.
Wow.
For Jai Hanuman. And the next big poster that we are launching, we have been working on that one single poster. We had done the photo shoot. So we had, and we started improvising on using AI. And we have been working on that one single poster for 1 month. And initially people used to be like, the poster designs used to be like, take a working still and just put the title and that's poster.
Yeah.
But I write my poster. I write a script for my poster. I write what is in the foreground, what is the emotion, what is in the background. So there is a lot of detailing that we do. I think whatever comes out of PVCU has to be a story. So even with one single poster, there should be a story.
Wow. Yeah.
We could have just put Rishabh Shetty in a muscular pose and say Jai Hanuman. But we didn't do it. So if you look at it, there is a tear in his eyes. So he is holding Prabhu Sri Ram. There is an emotion. It's an old temple. So putting all these things together will take a lot of time, even if you have AI. So AI cannot have emotion, right? Right now, I think today, but probably in future, I don't know. So don't say anything against AI, guys. Like, at one point, you might be, yeah. So AI is amazing, and like I said, that's a device, that's a tool that you have to learn and understand how to make the best use of it.
Beautiful. And how do you plan to expand into comics? Will these characters be making appearances there? Will there be subplots that will be tied to the films? The films are going to be primary entity, right?
We are doing the reverse now. Like Marvel and DC had done comics first and then went into the films. So now we are doing the films first, and then we are venturing into comics right now. So we have written a lot of sub-stories, like, a lot of stories from Hanuman, like, the adventures of Hanuman. And all the other stories, all the other characters that we have built right now, we are simultaneously working on the comics. Uh, yeah, I mean, like we have a couple of comic book artists in house, and they are working. They are very talented people. So I think I mean, like growing up, I didn't read many comics, so I'm not really that posh to read comics. So I'm like the basic Chandmama guy. But there is, we have a separate team in the office who are very, very good at it. So they are doing their best to create the PVCU comics.
And how closely are you involved in all the, I wouldn't call products, but things that are coming out of PVCU?
See, I basically don't over-involve in anything.
Mm-hmm.
I believe things have to be left to the professionals. So if anything, like imagine something breaks in my house, I'll not just go and try to fix it. So I'll just call a professional to do it. So even when we are doing a film, so I'll not go and tell, starting from the actor, I'll not go act and show. I'll only tell him this, give him the scene, and I'll only tell him the character, and I'll let him perform. May it be music, may it be the short division. Usually I don't go and tell them how to do it. So they have lived a life, they have studied, they have had experiences. So I want them to contribute first. So if I do everything by myself, I can only make this much of a film. But if I let all the people to bring their lives into it, so I believe the films have to come from life than the other films.
Mm-hmm.
So I want people, everyone who is involved in my team, to bring their life into the film. So then the film will become this big.
Yeah.
So similarly, even there are many branches in PVCU right now, and everything has a head, and they will take the main calls, and I will just look at the overall thing. So I'll just make sure that it'll not go out of the bounds, but I will let the people go crazy with their ideas, and I trust them. Like I said, they are very, very passionate, and they are actually more excited and more passionate about the universe than me. So I trust them and I let them do their job.
Beautiful. Very excited. Just a couple of final questions.
Yes.
What's the immediate lineup of Prasanth Varma?
I'm working on Balakrishna Garu's son Moksha's film. Yeah, Jai Balaya. So, and that is my immediate film that I'll start shooting. And we have been working from the past many months with Moksh, and we know he is working extremely hard, and he is getting trained in all the things a hero should do. And we are making sure that whoever has loved Hanuman will love this film even more, and we want to give the same kind of entertainment, excitement, emotion, and everything, but in a very different context. At the same time, I know what the fans of Balakrishna Garu expects from the film. So we are making sure that all those things are also checked. But the other day I spoke to Balakrishna Garu and I said, sir, I think, I've been getting a lot of messages on my social media. Fans are asking for this particular thing in the film. So do I have to include it? So he said, that's an amazing idea, but fans will love it. But story is the king, and you are the captain of the ship. You include it only if the story needs it.
Nice.
So that's the greatness of Balakrishna Garu, and that is the reason why I wanted to do that film. And he loves his fans, but at the same time, he trusts. He respects cinema way more than anyone. So I feel blessed and honored to do that film. And whatever, all the things that the fans of Balakrishna Garu expects will be there in the film. At the same time, whoever have loved Hanuman will love this film even more. And that's about that film, and we are going to announce the title pretty soon. And Jai Hanuman needs lot of prep, even for an unorthodox filmmaker like me. So it needs a lot of, we are building all the assets, and it's going to take a lot of time. Meantime, even Rishabh Garu is working on the other film, the Kantara Chapter 1. But he will be simultaneously working with me, and we are doing the 3D scan, and by the time he comes to the shoot, we would have finished 50% of the film on the not on the floor, but in the office. So there is like that much of preparation going on simultaneously for Jai Hanuman. So currently we are working on both the films at the same time, and the other films like Mahakali is being directed by Pooja Kolluru. So she is amazing, and from the moment she came on board, she took the film to the next level. And Adhira is happening. Adhira's project, we are going to announce the cast and director and everything. And there is this one more film that I'm working on with a very big star.
Yeah.
So, so that particular film's pre-production is also happening simultaneously, and the poster is also ready, and we're just waiting for.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, like we wrote 3 more films. Like I have written 3 more characters and stories, and we're just looking to put the team together. And we are going to announce the entire lineup pretty soon. So it might be looking like, we are announcing all these things at the same time, and we might not be concentrating on all this. But this particular thing has been happening from the last 1 year. Even before the release of HanuMan, we were working on this. So things just fell in place at the same time. So we started announcing one film at a time. But there's going to be more and more interesting and more bigger announcements coming up in the next few weeks.
Can't wait to see PVCU expand and flourish. Very excited. You had stated after Hanuman that there will be a film from PVCU coming out every Sankranti. I hope that starts from 2026.
Yeah, I think I said that in your interview, right?
Yeah.
Not for this Sankranti for sure, but I really wanted to, but we are going to be more strategic about it from now. Since we scored such a big blockbuster for the Sankranti, I felt that that every Sankranti should be one film of PVCU, but that's not how it's going to be. Sankranti is a great festival, and there are like a lot of other big stars films are going to come for Sankranti. So we are going to be very strategic about it from now. So we are going to announce the slate of release dates pretty soon. I'm just waiting for them to go to the shoot and understand how fast that particular director shoots, so that we will know when we were going to end. But I'm working on 3 films in the Adi Parvam. So we're calling it Adi Parvam for the first 7 films that we are doing in the PVCU. But 4 more films are there. So all the other 4 more films will be directed by other directors.
Prasanth, very excited, and all the very best. Like you said, go kill it.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that time. Thank you so much, guys.
Taste Daily. Taste the Daily. Holidays nale adu namma GT Holidays da. South India's #1 travel brand.